Hey guys, so it's been a while since I've done a TBR video, but I did want to do one for September because there are just a few books that I definitely want to get to in September. So this video is only going to have 4 books mentioned just because I want to leave it open for anything else that I may decide to read in the month. So I'm hoping to read these books in addition to a few more. Also, some of these books are a little longer, so maybe I will only get to these 4 books, but let's get into them. The first book that I plan on reading in the month of September is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I finished Prisoner of Azkaban earlier this year, and then I've been meaning to read it, but it's sometimes so hard to read books when there's always a new book coming out. You always hear about a different book, and I almost never want to give myself the time to reread a book that I love. So I've decided September 1st, it's the perfect time to read Harry Potter, and especially my favorite Harry Potter books. So I'm really excited to continue on rereading Harry Potter, and I will most likely finish the rest of the series before the end of the year, but I've said that before and it turned out to be false. The next book I'm hoping to get to in September, which this is like a very fallish kind of themed book thing, I believe, but it will be The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. So I picked this book up after I did my Instagram Controls My Life, and y'all picked me to get this book over A Male Called Ova, which it was very close, and I will still read that other one, but I'm going to be reading hopefully The Night Circus in September. It just sounds like a perfect fall kind of book. I've just heard it's a really atmospheric read, so I'm really excited to read this, and I think it will just really jumpstart me into the fall season. Next, I want to read The Tuscan Child by Reese Bowen. So this was originally on my Booktubeathon TBR, but I then swapped it out with a shorter book. It wasn't because I didn't want to read it, it was just because I knew that if I wanted to read 7 books in a week, I couldn't have a long book like this on it. So I'm hoping to read this in the month of September because I still really want to read it, and I don't even really still know what this book is about. The 4th book that I plan on reading in September is also historical fiction, highly recommended to me by my good friend who really loves historical fiction as well, and it's called A Sound Among the Trees by Susan Meissner. And Susan Meissner is the author of A Fall of Marigolds, which was like one of my favorite books of last year. So I'm really excited to give this book of hers a try as well. And this one takes place in the South, and I don't know what the time period is. I don't know if it's Civil War period or maybe it's just who knows when, but it is a historical fiction story, and that's all I really need to know. I already know that I love the author, so I have high hopes for that. So that wraps up my September TBR. Let me know what books you're planning on reading in the month of September as well. Thank you so much for watching, and happy reading.